back to the app. So we use the app. It stays open all the time. It's centrally administered from where, Josh? I mean, as a administrator for SMBs, where we take care of the administration. How do you make sure Teams is up to date, or all the settings are in place, things of that nature?
So Teams offers a backend administration portal through the Microsoft Admin Center, the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. And that's basically where you are going to be able to set policies, restrictions, because some organizations have very sensitive data, right? So, or content that they need to protect, and maybe they don't want to be able to expose that to the world, or give maybe you have a presentation that you're giving and you don't want somebody to be able to take control over that meeting. Well, we can set all of that stuff up on the back end to make sure that you don't experience any of those drawbacks that could happen if somebody clicks the wrong button in the meeting, right? So you can lock people out of doing those things. Make sure that the presenter is the only one that can give permission to really take control of the screen, that kind of thing. But in addition to that, the same UI that you use to administer those functions and policies that you're going to put in place, you can, if you are using a desktop phone that's provisioned, you can actually manage that phone and do updates remotely, which we do for some of our clients. So some of our clients have users that just prefer to pick up a phone, right? And in that organization, there are many people, but there's only 3 phones in that whole organization. And those 3 people, we're not going to upset the apple cart. But the other day, they had an issue where something was happening with the phone when they picked up. It was hanging up. I literally clicked one button. It proceeded to do an update, restart the phone for them, and everything was working as usual.
And I think the important part to understand is that, if somebody goes with the phone service, we'll do all that. We'll put all the defaults in place. It's not something that a small business or even a medium business needs to worry about. We'll administer all that for them, maybe go through a couple of things on initial setup to see what you want, and then we'll take care of it from there. So it's not a new system or platform that you really have to learn to administer, but those tools are available for central management. So if you have a dispersed workforce across the country, you don't have to worry about, like the old way of doing things where you got to send something out to the computer and do an install package on each individual computer. I wanted to point out that this is my headset. It's probably a $300 headset. It's high quality, and I haven't worn it in 6 months. And if I was to go in order of hardware, I would go hard phone on my desktop, absolutely being the last thing that I want to do. This would be second, but I understand, this is important in an office environment where you have other people around you, and a good headset really does make a big difference in the quality of the conversation, the background noise filtering and things like that. So that would be second. And what I've gone to today, just because it's quiet in my office at home, is I've got a desktop phone. So now I can use my hands. I don't have anything on my head, which shows up better in webinars and things like that. So we've got all these options. And one of the things that we've heard about is that some people are hesitant to transition to Teams. It's new technology. They don't know what's going on. They don't want to learn something new, et cetera, et cetera. But we have spoken to multiple people of varying ages about Teams and what it's been like to transition to Teams. And then once they've made that transition, how life has changed for them as far as productivity and efficiency and ease of use. And quite honestly, Teams just isn't that hard to use. I mean, if you can use if you can use Facebook, or the Facebook app, you can use Teams. If you can use Outlook or Gmail, you can use Teams. I think literally about 15 minutes of training is all you need in order to get the basics of Teams so you can start utilizing it in your business.
So Aaron, speaking of that, and one of the other features that Teams offers is sharing screens. So I want to demonstrate that right now and show you something and the audience something that is really helpful. It's built into Teams, and it will teach you everything that you really need to know at the click of a button. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. And as we were talking about earlier, we were talking about the calendar and how it integrates, and literally to join a meeting, you would click the join button right here. But they have a help feature in the bottom left-hand corner of this screen that most people don't know about. But when you click it and you go to training, you can literally just go in here and search anything that you want to know about how to do it. So
I like that, just the basics, so someone's getting started, they've got like, what, 10 minutes of videos they can watch at their convenience, and away they go.
Right, not just the videos, Aaron. Look, type a message. It gives you instructions on exactly how to do it. So even if you are technology challenged, you have the ability to really really use this very easily, just using search functions. And in addition to that, now that I've shared my screen with you, I can literally give you control, and I can choose the person that I want to give controls to. So I gave Aaron control, so he should be able to move the mouse around and select things on my screen. And see, it even shows up on my screen as EI moving the mouse around, which is really, for me, that's a really cool feature.
One of the things that I'm actually seeing in here reminds me of something that's important about Teams, which is being able to do group communication, right?
Yep.
So if you manage a department or a part of a department and you want to send something to everybody, all you got to do is select a team from your list, and you can message and communicate, share files with everybody all at the same time without having to send an email. And don't worry, because everything that you do in Teams is also synced to your Outlook. So you can look through your Teams history, but you can also go to your Outlook, and it has a conversation history folder that gets added to Outlook. So you can then go back and search that, or you can review a thread that took place inside of Teams. Again, that unified communication piece, seamlessly going back and forth between Outlook and Teams is hugely powerful. So. And you can create as many teams as you want. You can actually connect to people on Teams outside of your organization, which is great. So if you've got a really important client and you want to be able to provide, VIP service, and they want direct connection to you, then they can contact you through Teams. I think where Teams draws a line, which I really like as a business owner, is that with Teams and the phone service, right, you can give out your direct dial number. People can get you through the extension, through the phone system itself, and it rings Teams on your cell phone. So instead of giving out your personal cell phone number, which really is reserved for friends and family, you're giving out your business information. And when you get a call to that direct dial number, Teams will actually open up and ring on your cell phone. So you know where that call is coming from, and you can answer the call appropriately, and you can prepare yourself appropriately to address a business situation, or maybe not even take the call because you're not in the right environment to have a business conversation. It really kind of protects not only the employee, but also gives the customer the best experience. And what we have also found is when customers call and say, well, I called 15 times. Well, if they're calling somebody's cell phone, we have no way of checking, right? If somebody says, I called 15 times and we know they're calling the direct dial number, we can look, right? If that's the only number we give out, we can look at the records, and we can say, oh, well, actually, Mr. Customer, you called us twice over a 3-week period, and we can show that we returned calls and sent you emails, and we didn't hear back. So it addresses some of the customer service issues that sometimes businesses face when people are trying to, customers get excited about something, they want some help. We can put a stamp of reality on that, but it holds us accountable too. So if we didn't get back to you, hey, we can apologize and we can get on it and get it fixed ASAP.